least you can hear me now. こんばんは。Oh, the screen is gonna be like this because I'm not using OBS and there's nothing I can show you through my phone camera, unfortunately. 久しぶり。Yeah, I spent another hour trying to figure out my Mac OBS, and of course it didn't work. So here I am with a unfortunately blank screen. At least this time it worked. Anyway, how are you? I've been okay. I've had a pretty eventful month. I guess past 2 months. I've been kind of going back and forth between different places. And each time I would move around, it would take like at least an hour or two just to get from one place to the other. So then that would mean, you know, those times I wouldn't really be able to do much. But I got to go to Kyoto, which was fun. And I posted some photos on my Twitter account. I think maybe I'll post some more on my Discord server because it's probably gonna be a little bit more easier to see on there than having to scroll through my Twitter feed. Yes, thank you. And I started taking vocal training lessons, so that's really fun. Yeah, I went up the Fushimi Inari Taisha, which is the big, I think that's like the most well-known shrine like outside of Japan. And that's the one with all the torii, and it like goes all the way up the mountain and then back down, so yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but it's also like a really good workout for your legs because you go upstairs the whole time. And if you could go back down by rolling down. That'd be painful though, because it's a pretty far road down. And there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of like tiny shrines next to all the torii, so it's like if you know like the traditional way of going to a Shinto shrine, you basically go up to like the main part where there's like a building or some sort of like structure, and then there might be like a place to put money in or not, but it's not like you have to. It's kind of like if you can put in like some amount of money, and then afterwards some places have like this big bell, and then you have like a long rope attached to it, so you can like shake the rope and then make the bell ring, and then you bow twice, and then you clap twice, and then you bow down one more time, and that's it. And that's like when you go to a shrine. And then this is like a recent thing I didn't know about shrines, but the bell falls in your head and breaks every... Oof. I feel like that would be kind of like, you know, like it would be kind of like a bad sign or something. If you're at a shrine and it just like falls on your head. Yeah, and they're pretty big bells. They're not just like, you know, tiny ones. They have to ring pretty loud, so they're at least like basketball size. Yeah. And then what happens when you go to shrines instead of temples is when you go to a shrine, that's like a place where you basically let the gods know that you're, you know, appreciative of whatever's going on in your life. And then you also go there to kind of declare what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, kind of, or at least like until the next time that you get to go, basically. So a lot of the times people tend to go to shrines and then ask for things. And actually, Fushimi Inari Taisha, the big fox shrine, is pretty well known for like the place to go if you're some sort of business person. Like if you make money in any form, that's like the place to go and ask for you know, a blessing or whatever for your business to go well. So it's kind of interesting because like if you're going from like an orthodox perspective of what a Shinto shrine is supposed to be, you're not really supposed to be like, please help me with this thing. It's more like, I'm going to do whatever in like, you know, not like any like, you're not supposed to declare like any negative things, right? But you're supposed to say things like, oh, you know, I'm aspiring. Dear Inari-sama, please send me girlfriend, thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure some people say that too, because they actually do have a part of the shrine. Like there's basically like the very top area where it's like the I think like that's like the main gods, and then there's like a middle area for like the middle gods, and then there's one at the like more lower area that's for random girl falls on top of me from the sky. Inari's like, Inari-sama is like a god of I guess you could say fertility. It's kind of more like bountifulness of food and things like that, if that makes sense. Like, yes, basically I'm going to do this, wish me luck. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yes, prosperity. Yeah, there's different Inari gods, so it's not just like the one that you hear about. There's like many different ones, and you can actually find a ton of Inari shrine like around Japan, wherever you go. But they're the ones that you ask for, like, you know, blessings if you're doing any type of like food related business or, you know, business in general, or even just like family prosperity stuff. So yeah, generally speaking, you would go to an inari shrine in order to, you know, hope and aspire to be happy, but also so that technically, like, whatever prosperity you gain, you're supposed to kind of be like, well, I want to share it with other people, so it's not just like your own personal gain. Yeah, and Ibisu is another god, and there's like Ibisu-sama is like a part of like the 7 gods that are basically like I think you'll also notice that a lot of gods are about prosperity and stuff, so there's like a group of gods, and Ibisu is like one of the 7 that are also involved in like, yeah, luck and stuff. But yeah, you're not supposed to really go up to, you know, shrine gods and be like, I'd like all these things, please. Like, it's more like you're supposed to be able to, you know, look in the mirror that they actually have in each shrine and like look at yourself and be like, have I been the best that I can be? And then what is like the next thing I need to do? So that's that's what Santas are for. Yeah, Santa. Yeah, you can ask Santa for things, I guess. Oh, roasted sparrows. Oh, I didn't know. That's what Satan's for? What? I didn't know about the roasted sparrows. I wasn't paying attention. I just noticed they have like this little food place, like right inside one of the front gates, and they have this. They're like grilling thick things of bacon. I have no idea how much meat is on a sparrow. Yeah, I've never had sparrow, so I have no idea what it tastes like. Or that's interesting. Apparently, it's like the Fushimi Taisha, like because it's so popular with you know, businesses and such. They're actually like the most wealthy shrine, or at least like the, you know, the one that brings in a lot of money in the area, apparently. What else? I also went to the 4 shrines that are supposed to house. Oh, really? へえ、焼き鳥みたいな味なんですか？まあまあ鳥だから、食べたことないですね。Maybe I can try some next time. Yeah, I went to the 4 shrines that are supposed to house the 4 directional gods. So there's the north, that's Gimbu. There's the east, that's the Seiryu, and then there's the south Suzaku, and then the west is Byakko. So the north is like the turtle dragon. Like it has two heads. And like one head is just the turtle's head, but then it has like a tail that's kind of like a snake, and it has another head. And then the Seiryu is a blue dragon. It's kind of like the dragon that you see in like Dragon Ball and all that. And then Suzaku in the south is a phoenix. And then in the west is basically the white tiger, which is Byakko. Yeah. And then supposedly there's yeah, Big Kitty in the west. Supposed to be in the middle there's actually Kidding. But then I guess that's not like the most well-known thing. And at least the shrine that you go to in the middle is called Heian Jingu, which is interesting because it used to be like a pavilion, and it wasn't like a shrine. Like it wasn't supposed to be like a housing of any sort of deity. It was like the place that people went to, like royal families would gather or whatever. So it's also interesting because I got those shrine stamps. Actually, I did. I collected all of them. So I got this. I got like a big square sheet of paper that has like the illustrations of the 4 gods, and then like the names of the different, what's it called, shrines, and then they give you stamps at each one. Gotta catch all the shrines basically. And then if you actually do them, like if you get all of them, they give you like a little special bookmark actually. So yeah, and I think because this year was the year of the ox, they had a little picture of a cow on the bookmark, and they said that it actually changes every year, so blessed bookmark, yes. And then of course every shrine isn't just like, there's those stamps, but then if you go to any shrine or temple in Japan, they'll do goshin, which is basically like it literally translates to, oh hello, hi potato. So the goshin literally translates to red mark, but I also posted some on Twitter, but they're like these it's like the name of the shrine or the temple, and then they have like the pictogram, like kanji stamp that goes in the middle usually, and then they write like the date in kanji, and then also which god is enshrined. So it's kind of like a signature thing. So I don't know if any of you have been to like Disney World or Disneyland, but like how they have those like autographs. So it's kind of like that where you can go to different shrines and then kind of get autographs of the gods, but it's like written by the people that work there. And because it's been like yeah, like unfortunately though, because of the coronavirus, a lot of places stopped doing the handwritten ones, which was kind of unfortunate. I mean, I think even before that, like places that had a lot of traffic, like Kinkakuji and Ginkakuji, and then I think Fushimi, Naritaisha, like none of them really ever did like handwritten ones because that would take too long. But there were so many others that like didn't necessarily have lines waiting around, that were just like, oh, we only have like printed ones. And it was kind of sad because some of them were like 500 yen, but then you could kind of tell that they didn't really use like a high-res picture or anything. So it was like pixelated, and I'm like, okay, I guess they didn't have anyone who's like who knows how to do printing and stuff like that to be able to say like, hey, maybe we should use like a higher quality picture or whatever. Anyway, so there are places that literally printed out everything and then they just hand it to you, or places that had like just like sheets ready and then they were handwritten, but they were on sheets, so they wouldn't like take your goshuincho, which is like a little notebook for those things. Like they wouldn't just write it into your notebook. They would still just give you the paper. 3,000-year-old boomer gods can't use Photoshop. Oh boy. Yeah. It's okay. It makes sense. But yeah. So I talked about shrines and like how you go into a shrine and what you have to do. You put in money. You're not supposed to throw money. People do that because they probably think that's like a thing, but you're supposed to, quietly put in the money in the little box if there is anything. And then you ring the bell that's there, and then you bow twice, you clap twice, and then bow one more time. And then that's when you say, like, hello, well, you don't say it out loud, you think in your head, right? He points at the monks. Yeah, no. I feel like they would just, like, tell you to leave the premise if you did that. Poor monks. That'd be disastrous. I'm pretty sure someone's done that from, like, being too drunk or something. But that's how you go to a shrine. And then you say in your mind, like, hello, this is so-and-so. So basically, when I went, I would be like, oh, hello, this is Ben, and I'm from this place, and I am here to say hi to the gods here, and, I'd like to become a better VTuber. Throws coins. Oh boy. What's a blunderbuss? your boy. Yeah. And oh, so what happens when you... What do you think you have to do, like, if you did actually just say, hey, I'd like this, please, and that actually happens? Oh, interesting. I didn't know. Well, that's kind of funny. Blunderbuss is an old-time gun. Throw more coins. Return with an offering. Actually, pretty close. So, basically, what you do is you go to the same shrine that you, basically ask for whatever, right? And then you're supposed to let them know that you're really, like, grateful. Well, if you threw coins at the monks, I feel like they would just be like, please leave and never come back. Although, who knows? Maybe they're, you know, maybe you'll find someone there who's actually really, really kind and doesn't mind. But yeah, you have to return to the same place and go and say hi and be like, hello, you helped me with this thing and I'm really happy and grateful that this happened. Eating coins, please keep going. Why? So many coins. But yeah, that's basically what you do. And then... Oh, so, okay, this is me, right? So basically, since I was little, I've been to a ton of shrines, and I don't even remember which ones I've been to, because I wrote down all the ones that I went to this time around, and that was just in Kyoto, right? But then, like, all the other ones that I've been to that are outside of, like, Kyoto, which is, like, everywhere else that I've been. I'm like, okay, but do I even remember where I went to and what I asked for, you know? Because I didn't even know that at shrines you're not supposed to ask for things, and my family would be like, you need to go and ask for blah, or, like, you know, ask for this thing over at this shrine, and I'll be like, okay. Points blunderbuss at shrine. Put all the blessing into the soul and nobody gets it. All the blessings. Yeah, so then what do you think you have to do if you can't remember where you're supposed to go back to and say thanks? What? You thought I was gonna say your family was going to the shrine and asking for blood. Whoa, man. I don't think blood is on the menu for the gods. At least not Shinto gods. I don't even think it's for, like, Buddhist gods, but I don't know all of them. Nikomatas ask. Yeah, so if you can't remember where you've been to and where you've asked for some sort of, prayed to, or, whoa, my head just blanked for a second. As I was saying, so if you don't remember where you've been to and you don't remember which shrines you've asked for help from, I guess help, or just like, if you asked for something, if you can't remember, this is like I'm pretty sure, like, if you don't believe in this, like, that's fine too, but then basically there's this idea that we're all born in this world because we wanted to be, and then we can't just want to be born. So like a deity has to be like, I think they have to give you like a go or a no, basically, when that happens. So the idea is that every person who has been brought to life has some god that gave them like the cue to be born. This part of my life wasn't in the contracts. So yeah, I mean, I understand, like, it's probably kind of one of those things, like, you don't necessarily have to believe it. But basically, the idea is that if you can't remember which shrines you went to and ask for help or whatever, you basically go to the shrine that your god, like when you were born, lives. So basically, like, if you were born in a hospital, the nearest shrine that has the highest rank god or deity is where you're supposed to go. And then what you do there is you go and be like, hello, I'm unfortunately unable to remember where I've been to and where I need to say thanks, so please give my thanks to the whichever gods in my place. And then apparently that's like the next best thing that you can do. So yeah, it's not just like, oh, well, I guess you're cursed forever or something like that, Although, see, the thing is, I do want to know, like, what that means for people outside of Japan, because, like, it's not like every country just has shrines. They don't put a shrine on, like, your birth certificate. It's more like, you have to know which shrine is, like, the closest to where you were born. And usually you'll be able to tell because there's, like, ranks of shrines, and then, like, most parents, at least in Japan, seem to know where their children's, like, birth shrine is, basically. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, like, if you're from outside of Japan and then, like, if you go to a shrine and then you ask for something and then that happens, like, how are you supposed to come back? Like, what if that was your one trip outside of your country or something and that was, like, all you could do? Like, do you have to come back? Although, I guess there is that idea that maybe it's also like it kind of depends on your religion too. Because I guess like F. I guess the idea is that regardless of where you're born, there's some sort of deity that, you know, takes care of the area. So maybe like if you're in a country that has a lot of, you know, churches and stuff, maybe it's like God or Jesus or something. You can't come back, so get cursed. Well, yeah, also, like, I learned from someone that curses actually are only effective if you're near someone who's, like, paying attention to it. And that's, like, kind of the idea of kotodama, which means, like, word spirits. Please uncurse ancient British Mudman. Oh yeah. Or like pagan gods maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I wonder. Well, this was interesting too. The person that I heard all this like how-tos about shrines, they're from a family that used to take care of a shrine. I don't know if his family does anymore or not, but he was basically saying like Japanese Shinto gods are interesting because they're made of two sides. So they have like the peaceful, you know, soft, caring side, and then they have the other rough, like active side. So then what he said was that, you know, they can be angry sometimes. So they're not just like always peaceful and always like happy or whatever. Which is why I guess you're supposed to be like, hello and thank you for everything, and not just like, you know, hey, how's it going? On the other hand, apparently at temples you're allowed to ask for things. I guess they can be rough or something. Yeah, you can ask for things from Shinto gods, but the idea is that you're supposed to kind of take responsibility for it, and then if you get what you wanted or asked for, you need to go and say hi and be, you know, polite and actually appreciate that happened. And then I'm not really sure why you can ask for things at temples, but apparently temples are a lot more chill in terms of like customs. I have no idea why though. So if you go to a temple, there's no, you know, you don't have to do the bowing twice, clapping twice, bowing again thing. You just go up and pray and, you know, say hi and be thankful, but you don't have to be like super ritualistic about it. It's interesting. Eat money at Marks. The British just gonna throw money at people. Yeah, so the four directional gods are, I feel like if you've done some history, you would know that they're from China originally. Like Chinese history has them, and then Japanese people thought that that was like a really good idea, and then there's temples in Kyoto that are like that, but there's actually some temples in Tokyo and like other areas that are based on the directional gods. But anyway, those are all shrines. So you'll be able to tell which one's a shrine and which one's a temple, because temples don't Okay, I was about to say temples don't have tori, but then I was also like, wait, some places do. So I guess I can't say that they're always, you know, mutually exclusive. So at temples, one of the temples I went to is the Kurama Temple. And that one is also like at the top of a mountain, so you have to walk a lot. And there's actually like a cable car that runs from part of it up, because, you know, not everyone has you know, they're not necessarily able to go up all those stairs, so like there's like, for other people that can't necessarily go up, like there's a cable car that goes between one part to the other, and then it goes up. I think like once you get off the cable car, there's actually like a easier path up to the top where the main temple is. I thought what was interesting about Kurama Temple is like on the way up to the temple, there's like all these shrines. So you see all these like Shinto gods as you're going up the mountain trying to get to the temple. And then the temple houses 3 gods. And one's the Senju Kannon. The second one's Bishamonten. And then the third one's oh no, I don't remember. Gohomao. I need to look it up. Oh, I was right. Okay. Yeah. And I went to the Kurama Temple because that's where the big Tengu is. Like the boss of all Tengu is. Which is Bishamonten. Yeah. I know. At least I remembered the Sonten. But Sonten's like 3 in 1 god, basically. So yeah, one of them's like the 1,000-handed bodhisattva, I think is what you call it in English. And then the one that I wanted to go see is Bishamonten. and that one's the Kurama Tengu, which is like the highest rank Tengu. And then Gohomao-son is the third. I actually don't know that one that well. But they're supposed to represent like light, love, and power? Am I right? Oh no! Yeah, I think so. Yeah, their love. So light is Bishamonten, and then love is the thousand-handed Bodhisattva, and then the power is Gohomao. Yeah. But yeah. It sounds like a Tengu time. Yes. It was. I wanted to go there because, you know how, you know, Kuchan's grandpa is Kurama Tengu, so. I was like, hello! It was kind of nice because, there were, like, little kids on, like, a field trip. I think they were only, like, in, like, preschool or whatever, but they had teachers there, and they were all, like, really adorable. And it was, you know, during the whole trip up, right, like, adults are just, like, breathing really heavily and panting because it's pretty difficult to go up, and all the kids are just, like, running up and being like, hey! And they're all, like, smiling and all happy, just, like, running around. It was adorable. Why would I eat any of them? But so the Kurama Temple is really interesting. So you get to the top, and then there's like obviously a really pretty view. I don't even think they would understand what yeeting is. They were too tiny. But the Kurama Temple has a 6-pointed star, which is like 2 triangles put together basically, and apparently that's like, you know, that has nothing to do with the Jewish symbol, before anyone asks. But anyway, so if there's, oh yeah, there's a photo of this on my Twitter also, and I can post it on my Discord again. But in front of the big main shrine of the temple, I mean the big main building of the temple, not the shrine, there's this circular pattern, and then in the middle there's the 6-pointed star, and then it's supposedly a power spot. So like if you go and then stand in the middle of it, like you're supposed to be able to receive the power of the like space or something. So like it's like power that's coming out from space. I don't really know how that works, but you know, it's a thing. And then so that was a thing that I was advised to do because why not? And then there's actually the path, there's like 2 paths up the mountain, which also means there's only 2 paths going down the same mountain. So then I went up, and then I went back down. He stand in the middle to become Super Saiyajin. Why? Saiyajin. I mean, I guess. Yasaijin. Am I super now? It was like a really, really intense hike though, which was fun. But my legs were pretty tired after that. So then that happened. After going back down the other way, I think the path that I took going down was actually a lot longer than the path going up. But at the end of the path down, there's the big river that goes through Kyoto. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let me check. I'm just Googling because I don't know the geography well enough. But... So there's a river called Kifune River. I hope that's what it is. What is this river called? Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think. Anyway, I went to the river. I didn't swim in it because I don't think you're allowed to do that, and it would be pretty dangerous to do so. What I did do though is there's another shrine that's like there. Like once you get out of Kurama Dera and then you go all the way down, there's a shrine called Kifune Jinja. Just a second, my phone is gonna die. But Kifune Jinja is basically it houses the river dragon gods, which is also cool. So, the one that's closest to the end of the Kurama Temple area is it's actually like the first part of the shrine, and you're actually supposed to go upstream to get to the main area of the shrine. So there's like a first part and then the middle part and then the last part, and then what I did was go to all three. And it's interesting because the first area, they have these like they have this statue of a horse, actually two horses, and there's like one horse for like a white horse and a black horse, and I think they actually like have horse gods there. And then the middle place actually has like a love god, I think. And then at the very end there's the main dragon god, and also like a big well. So basically, after you get the power of space and become a Super Saiyan, I guess. You go to that well, and then you receive the power from like within Earth. And that was what I was advised to do, so that was cool. But it was a really long trek, and I'm glad I chose the shoes I did because it took a while just to go up and down that whole place. What else? Yeah, I should probably I don't know how to where to post photos so everyone can see them. I guess I could also just link Google Maps to all the areas that I went to, and then you guys can see on the map where it should be. Yeah. But that's about it. And then those are, of course I went to other temples in between. So I got a ton of those stamps basically of all the different shrines and temples. And every temple actually, I think every single temple and shrine that I went to had at least one or two. So then I think one of the most one of the temples that I went to that had the most of those stamps, there were a ton of different ones for every part of the place. That was at Kurama Temple, and it was too much. There were more than 10, and if every single one of them was at least 300 yen, you could easily spend $30 worth of money just for stamps. And they weren't even written out, so they were all if you want, you could just get them on paper, I guess. So that was strange. Yeah. That's about it. Hello. Okay, good. I was wondering if it did something and, somehow my sound was off again. Yeah, that was my trip to a ton of shrines and temples. But I've actually gone to other shrines outside of Kyoto, so it's I could also talk about those. Yeah, if you ever visit Japan, I feel you could spend all day just going to the shrines in one area and you'd still not be done. So the best thing is probably to you know, pick and choose ones that I guess you have feelings for. And then decide around that, and maybe, you know, if you have one that you want to go to, maybe there's gonna be another one or something around it. I'm probably gonna go back to Kyoto and go to the other ones that I missed relatively soon. But yeah, I'll have to like research or ask about what happens to people who are born, you know, outside of Japan, and if like who their, you know, birth god is or whatever. I guess if you're atheist, you don't have to really do anything. Yeah, so I took a ton of photos, which I still don't know where I should put them or where to like show them so that everyone can see them. Because I don't really want to do my Instagram, because then my Instagram's gonna be filled with photos, and that'd be kind of boring because I post my art there. But yeah. Anyway. It's kind of late over here, so I think this is probably a good place for me to say goodnight. Not really sure when the next stream will be, but it'd be nice to, you know, not have a blank screen. Yeah, and then also let me know if you guys want to collab or something. Tomorrow's stream. I guess I could see if I can. I'm not really sure if I can, but I can try. It might be the same where like there's no screen, unfortunately, because I don't have the equipment for it. Which is unfortunate, because I was trying to make the screen at least like, you know, the hand towel that I made. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's of me, my baby form, drinking boba tea. And I was gonna make that the background, but I didn't know how to set up my camera so that, you know, that's gonna be the main thing. But anyway, yeah, I'm taking vocal lessons. Hopefully that's gonna make my voice sound better, and I'll also try to work on enunciation, because I noticed my own recordings, I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. Anyway, thank you for coming and hanging out with me for an hour. I hope I was at least informative in the sense of shrines and temples. And maybe if you all are interested in, you know, visiting Japan, well, thank you, Mimic. Thank you, Mercury. Yes, you can't see me, but you can hear me. Yeah. Well, yeah. And also, you know, if you're going to visit Japan, you'll have to be careful, because they're making no sense in terms of vaccination stuff, because apparently if you've taken all the 2-step ones, you're gonna be okay entering, and then you're not gonna have to deal with like being in a business hotel for 3 days. But then like if you've taken any of the ones that only, I think maybe it's just Johnson and Johnson at this point, where like if it's like a one-time shot, you won't be able to skip that 3-day business hotel thing, and they'll just like shove you in a tiny room. So yeah, maybe they'll update it at some point, but who knows. Anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you, Max, for coming. Thank you, Debiru, for coming. I know Potato came for a bit. Thank you, Roomba, for coming. Yeah, and thank you for watching if you're just watching the archive. My archives are slowly starting to disappear, but I do have them downloaded. It's just yeet money at Monks for Wishes. I mean, I guess technically it's kind of like that. You know, I do kind of think more of it as like you're sending energy to the, shrines and temples in hopes that they will be there for the, rest of time or whatever. But yeah, I don't even know how that works. Like, I don't actually know how the money goes around in terms of like who gets what inside the shrines and temples. So who knows? Maybe some of those families are dirty rich. Anyway, but yeah, that doesn't mean the gods are gonna be any different or whatever. So yeah, it's still good. So yes, my archives are disappearing, but I'm thinking about maybe uploading them to YouTube at some point, or maybe not, because there's so many errors in like all the past ones. But anyway,